Today we're going to look at solving literal equations for our variable. What this means is you're going to have equations that have mostly letters or variables in them, and they're going to specify a specific variable that they want you to get by yourself. In this case, I have example 1, a equals 1/2 small a times p. They want me to solve for small a. So my whole goal is to get this little a right here by itself. Now I'm going to use the same steps I've been using for solving equations, just some of them will come a little bit out of order. Do not need to write the questions 1 through 7 out to the side like we've been doing. This time you're just going to solve. Well, I noticed that next to my little a, I have a 1/2 and a p. They're both being multiplied times a. I'm going to start by noticing that I need to get rid of my fraction. I'm going to clear fractions by multiplying everything by a positive 2. So 2 times a over here, and 2 times 1/2 right here. Now again, we talked in the past about how 1/2 times a times b is like saying a times b times c, and you only have to multiply the first two first. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 1/2 first, and the AP here is just going to carry down to my next step. So I have 2 times a, which is 2a, and then I have 2 times 1/2, and if any of you have been paying attention, 1/2 times 2 is the same thing as saying 1/2 of 2, which is just 1. Now you don't have to show the 1 in front of a, but if you're one of those people that needs to see the number, you can go ahead and leave it. Now I notice that next to my a, I still have this p, and it's being multiplied. So to get rid of that multiplication, I will divide both sides by p. And when I divide both sides by p, this cancels to a positive 1, and I'm left with that 1a. And on the left, I have 2a divided by p. And then you're done. Your whole goal is just to get that individual letter by itself. Let's look at another example. Example 2. Example 2, they give me the equation s equals ph plus 2b. They want me to solve it for h. So they want me to get this h right here by itself. I notice that I have a big P being multiplied times h, and over here I have a 2b being added to h. So my first step is going to be subtracting 2b from each side. When I subtract 2b over here on the right, it gives me a 0 pair, and the ph carries down. It did not change. But then over here I have s minus 2b. They are not like terms. They do not have the same variable. So I'll write them side by side, s minus 2b. Then next to my h I have a p. I don't want that p there. So to get rid of it, I'm going to divide both sides by p. Now when I divide both sides by p on the right, it cancels to 1, and I'm left with 1h. On the left, I am left with s minus 2b all divided by p. Now there are two ways you can write this. You can write it just as I did as one big fraction. Or you could say this is h equals s divided by p minus 2b divided by p, because it means the same thing. And in our previous examples, we've always split the division to every single individual term. So if this is how you see it, that is absolutely fine as well. These are both acceptable answers. You pick the one that you like the best. I will accept both. Then we'll do one more example. Example 3, they give me v equals 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. They want me to solve for pi. So in this case, I'm going to get the symbol pi by itself. And the way I'm going to do that is by moving everything else away from it. The first thing I notice is that I have a 3 on bottom here. That's like the fraction 1/3. Matter of fact, there's a 4 on top, so that's like having the fraction 4/3. So in order to get rid of this 3, I have to multiply both sides by 3. So I'll multiply the v by 3, and then right here, this one by 3. Now this term stays together. We're just going to leave it like it is, and it's going to carry down to the next step, 4 pi r cubed. The only thing that's going to be affected by that multiplication is the 3 on bottom. And 3 times 1/3, which is what this fraction is, cancels to 1, so all I have to carry down is the 4 pi r cubed. That's what I wanted to happen. Now when I multiply 3 times v over here, it becomes 3v. Excuse me. So now I have the equation 3v equals 4 pi r cubed. I notice that I have a 4 times pi and I have r cubed times pi. I want to get rid of both of those because I want that pi by itself. The way I'm going to do that is by dividing both sides by 4r cubed. Because if I divide by 4r cubed on both sides, this cancels to a 1, this cancels to a 1, so they're gone. And all I have left is pi on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side of the equal sign, 3v divided by 4r cubed will stay 3v divided by 4r cubed. And I have solved for pi completely. Make sure you're always boxing your answers. That is required. And we're going to have a solving equations test coming up pretty soon. So please make sure you have copied down these notes and that you're boxing all your answers.